Right, we streaming live. I usually wait so there's not a double pieces going on. But in this video, let's get ready. This is going to be another section of the N asset. Last section we talked about was about the summary of the N asset. And in this video, you're going to learn about lifetime growth of your money. You like that, right? Lifetime growth of your money. So let's get right into it. And I'm going to tell you some of the key takeaways. Now, please stay to the end because in the links below, there is a free gift for you. So listen to this. This is a component of a series that I'm doing here at Valuable Assets and as a Better Wealth coach. So please, I'm going to be reading notes. I'm going to go back and forth. My objective is to give you as much education and value as possible. So please leave some comments, subscribe, hit the notification. I gotten comments. They needed clarity. I went back and made a more clarity, more clear picture. Some people liked it, liked the video, and then I thanked them as well. So please, your feedback. I want to be able to pass on as much knowledge that I have, that I've learned over the last couple of years, that has definitely changed my life and the life of others. And I just want to spread the word. So that's the key. Stay to the end, get the free gift. Key takeaways: how compound interest is valuable in all aspects of your life. 2, compound interest is considered the 8th wonder of the world by some people, but it's always talked about in that manner. How the end asset process may mean more intentional with my money, mean purposeful with what I'm doing with the money and the excess and the additional money. 4, lifetime growth information, so you can do your own studying. And number 5, you have the ability, if you're interested to learn more, set a free strategy or clarity call with me. So I'm excited. Let's get it on. Welcome to Valuable Assets TV and Podcast. My name is Victor Arocho, and we're live out of Miami, Fort Lauderdale. I am licensed in many of the states, and my associates are licensed throughout the entire country. I also represent 50 to 60% of the top 10 infinite banking or cash flow insurance companies in the country. Some very well known, over 100 years, some 171 years. Where we, in this podcast and show, we discuss all things infinite banking and how the N asset has changed my life, like I said, and I want to change the lives of others for financial freedom and or releasing them from the bondage of debt. I'm your host, Victor Arocho, a privatized banking specialist and better wealth coach. So let's get right into it. Usually I like to go in parts, and I'm going to go through some notes. I have some things written down. I'm always going to show you some of the books that I read. This is one of the key components that made a difference. I am a part of the team with 𝐭𝐫 𝐀𝐫𝐨𝐜𝐿 and the Better Wealth team, so I'm very excited. But let's get going. What is the most important thing I know about lifetime growth? And in this case, as it relates to cash flow insurance policies, it's really compound interest, right? Interest is compounding one over the other, over the other. I'm sure a lot of you are used to that, especially if you have credit card debt. It'll tell you how many years it takes you make the minimum, how many years it takes you make extra. Well, the reason why it takes so much longer and you're paying so much more is because they are taking your balance plus interest. And if you don't pay it off, they're going to charge interest above interest, right? So imagine getting compounded interest in a savings account, and they're now giving you compounded interest. That's the beauty. So what is the number one thing? Well, I had something else, and my wife gave me something that I thought was worth mentioning on this podcast. And I'm a true believer in it. I'm a Christian, so I'm going to share with you. So the most important thing I know about lifetime growth, personal, financial, and just well-being. She sent this to me. She was listening to a podcast. We have all heard of compound interest, but we don't pay attention to the compound natures of our days, what we do and the way we behave each day, and the way we behave each day may not seem significant at the moment. But if we are faithful today, tomorrow, and the day after, the compounded interest that it can have and impact the lives of those in our lives, because we sought to be faithful, faithful each day, and trusted that God would use that or use our efforts. So compounded interest in personal life, right? Imagine, and I started, working on this every day. I'm texting my children that I love them. I'm proud of them. Every day I'll try to do a video for my wife. I call my father, who's 87, every single day. Every single day. Look, you try it as much as possible, but it's amazing when it does. Be nice to people, be kind, open the door, do things you wouldn't normally do. And if you just do that day in and day out and day in and day out, I don't know about you, but have you ever done something nice to a person? And I'm sure you had opposite effect, but this time you've done something nice, and you're doing it not only to be nice, but it also makes you feel good that you made someone else feel good. You helped someone. You did it out of the sincerity, a kindness of your heart. So if we practice that, we all practice compounding that, what we do daily, and the kind things that we do over time. What would that bring back to the loved ones or the people you affect or everyone you come across in your life? So I wanted to start off with that. That's the power of compounded interest, being faithful each day in the manner of how you behave and how it'll start affecting the growth of yourself and the growth of others. So, 3 quick action items out of this one is, tell or text your kids you love them every day for 30 days. See what happens. Tell them you're proud of them. Say something nice to a loved one, to your spouse, your partner, your spouse equivalent, your girlfriend, your boyfriend. 2, get out of the way, go out of your way, go out of your way to be kind to strangers for 30 days. Do something nice. Do whatever you can. Say hello. Thank you for what you do. Try that. Okay, see what happens. Number 3, every day, pray over your family and your finances for the next 30 days. Pray that everyone stays healthy, that everyone's future is going to be prosperous. Pray over your finances that what God has given you, you're going to harvest and grow, and be generous to others. What you give, you get back in, tenfold. So that's what the most important thing I do know about lifetime growth. And I've learned it. And I'm practicing it, and it's not something that's always easy, but it's something now that's in your control and you can do. So God bless. Let's get this going to the next one. Now we're getting back to the end asset and the process. What is the second most important thing that I know about cash flow banking, utilizing the and asset process? Okay. I don't know. It's being said a lot. You'll hear it all over the internet, the web, YouTube. That I don't know if Einstein said it, didn't say it or not. But bottom line is, saying goes, is Einstein has considered that uninterrupted compound interest is the 8th wonder of the world, right? We even utilize in infinite banking world and insurance world, E equals MC squared, right? Efficiency equals money times 2, being able to use it at least multiple times. Okay, so we're going to talk a little bit about how that happens. So an easy question is, you can look this up and study. If I would say, hey, look, I'm going to give you $1 million right now. Okay, what do you think is going to be worth more? I give you $1 million now, or I'm going to give you 1 penny, 1 cent. Except for I'm going to have that 1 penny double every day for 30 days. Which one do you think will be greater, and which one would you take? And I know some of you want to take that $1 million right now, but let me tell you what happens after 30 days of uninterrupted compounded interest on a penny. If it was compounding daily, every single day, it would double, it would double, it would double, it would double, it would double. At the end of 30 days, you would have hand 1 million, penny multiplying, doubling every single day for 30 days straight. You would end up with $5,368,709.12. Think about it. That's 5x. That's how powerful compound interest is, right? So imagine you're putting money away and it's going to continue to grow. And I want to be crystal clear. The example I gave you was for the purposes of understanding lifetime growth and uninterrupted compounded interest. Infinite banking and the N asset process, no, most people go, well, what kind of rate of return and I can get better returns on other investments. Crystal clear. This is not an investment. It's a financial vehicle for you to leverage money that it grows uninterrupted for the rest of your life. And we designed this so you could utilize that cash value to buy and other assets. So your money is growing uninterrupted 3 to 4% for the rest of your life. And you can use that money for investments that give you a greater return than what you are actually borrowing from the insurance company, because your money never goes down. So whatever cash value you have in there, that number is going to continue to grow uninterrupted. But you're able to utilize at least 94, 95% of that cash value, depending how your policy is designed, and utilize it by borrowing from the insurance company. That's just another topic. But I mean, crystal clear, not an investment, a tool to leverage, which you're going to find out that a lot of the wealthy all try to find leverageable ways to utilize their money more than once, whether it's lending them to themselves, getting a tax write-off, growing their business. It's all about using other people's money while your money continues to grow. So I had a good story here that I wanted to tell you. All right. So now, every dollar, everyone's going to consistently look at what's my rate of return. And in the N asset process and better wealth, we talk about rate, RRR, rate of return. We talk about rate of result, meaning as you're storing money in a lifetime growth cash flow policy, which you have access to it within, usually you'll get it 3 days, ACH directly into your bank account. Okay. What are you going to do with that money? So your money is growing, and what are you going to do with that money? So that is the whole purpose of the and portion of it. Okay. So I'm going to leave you with, I guess the story I guess I gave you, because I like to give you a point, give you a story. The story is, a penny doubled every day for 30 days is 5x over getting $1 million today and not growing anymore. And remember, in other accounts, where can you get a bank account or savings account or a commercial account that's going to give you at least 4% today, right? Almost impossible. 2, uninterrupted interest compounding every year, regardless whether you take money out or not. You're not going to get that. So again, we're not comparing this as an investment, because you should be able to get more return than other investments. But why would you go buy real estate with money you just saved up in a bank account when you could have it in the cash flow policy, have it growing uninterrupted, use that same money and buy real estate, buy a business, put it into your business to grow your business. Okay. Action items real quick. Number 1, just Google, read how the wealthy leverage money. Number 1. Number 2, I have a link to a Forbes article, and the Forbes article is 4 little wealth known building strategies of the super rich. Okay. One of them is they have multiple assets, cash flow assets. The other thing is that they leverage money. They use as much as possible other people's money. So when you build a specifically designed high dividend paying cash flow policy, you're literally using the money from the insurance company, not your own money, and you're growing it greater than what you're getting it for. That's what it's about, right? I want to be able to take $1 and have it used twice, and I want to grow that dollar. So, and there's a link to that article. Look at that link, check it out. It's fantastic. I think you'll really like it. So that is number 2. Second most important thing is compound interest, compound love, compound interest. lifetime growth, that once that money's in there, it's going to grow for the rest of your life. Quick example is my son has a policy. He's going on his second year. In his first year, I made sure that we maximized it, right? And then I borrowed out of that policy because you got to take over, does well. But what I put in there, no matter what I took out, that money, all the money is still growing at 3 to 4% for the rest of his life. And he's only like in his 20s. All right, beautiful. All right, so you can see my notes. Okay, what is the most transformational what was the most transformational thing to me in understanding the value of a compound growth, right? A compounded interest, right? Well, one transformational for me was because now I realized before I do anything and I have either excess cash or I have a sale or something comes in that there's additional monies, what am I going to do with it? So my transformation is I'm way more intentional with my money. And first, I am trying to, as much as I can, right, put as much money as whether it's security money, money if something happens to that I need expenses, just the rainy day fund, instead of putting just in some account, just sitting there and I have no access to. I'm intentional. I make sure it goes into one of our family's policies. And I figured out from there what I'm going to do next from an investment. So I'm only storing it there. So what was transformational to me is that when there was a time I was doing really, really well, and I'm doing pretty good now, but it took me to, I had to fall, and now I'm trying to rise again, and I want to help others on my journey, right? You only get to where you want to get to by helping as many people as you possibly can, and hopefully I'm able to do that. So now I'm way more intentional, and I think for way faster on, okay, if it's just in the bank, it's easy. How much is in my bank account? Yeah, all right, yeah, we can spend the money on this. Okay, don't worry about it. We got that. We got money coming in from here. But when I put it into our banking policies, every year I get another policy, a couple policies and so forth, as our continued life value goes up, is that I really got to look at it before I take it out. It's not just like I have an ATM and I can just pay for it, right? I have to be zoned in focus. What am I going to get in return? Right? Because it's going to cost me 4.7%, or it's going to cost me 3.7%, or it's going to cost me 4.08% simple interest to utilize my money without having to pay it back every month. I get up and down. As long as I pay my interest every year, I don't have to pay it back. And the reason I pay my interest, so it doesn't compound. And the collateral is the life policy. So it's transformed the way I think on how I want to get multiple assets, multiple passive income, businesses, and it's helped me save. I mean, the transformation has changed my life, my family's life, everybody that I've come across. And hey, you either get it, you don't get it, but you cannot compare this as a direct investment to investment. You could definitely do better than 3 to 4% in other investments. But what you can do is get better than 3 to 4% in other investments while your money that you took out of the bank is still growing at the same level that you took it out at 4% for the rest of your life. It's not going to happen. Okay. So every time I get extra cash, I figure out how do I get into a policy. I'm leveraging my savings more to generate more assets. I gave you a little bit about those stories. I'm intentional. Warren Buffett, I should probably pull that out. Let's see if I can share this here. Boom. Let's see if I got preview. Yeah. All right, preview. Beautiful. All right. If poor people would do just what if poor people would just do what rich people do, they wouldn't be poor anymore. Warren Buffett. Now, it's super simple to show that and say that's easy said and done because he's already had money. No, he didn't come from money. But the key component is wealth is relative, right? You could decide you want the most, you want to be the richest person in the world, or you just want to have an excess life, or you want to just be comfortable. It's all up to you about happiness in your family, right? But the challenge has been is that the common person, and I think I'm pretty intelligent. I didn't learn this until 2, 3 years ago. And when I got my policy, I'm not like I mentioned the name of the company or so forth. They had this type of policy. They just didn't know how to present it, or they didn't want to present it, or the company doesn't want to. Because as agents designing these policies, we got to give up 60, 70% of our commission, believe it or not. Most of them don't want to do that. A lot of them will show you this is life for you to protect you, plus you have access to it. If you check a pure whole life, this is specifically designed, it has a whole life component to it, but it has got 3 more components to it, which we call riders. Okay. So that transformation changed me. So one, that's why I suggest those links and read what the wealthy are doing, because they're leveraging money. That's how they get away from not paying taxes. Go to Robert Kiyosaki. He says, I don't pay 0 taxes and I'm a billionaire. Elon Musk, I think, paid 1.3%. Now, a lot of these guys have their own businesses. Your biggest tax or your income tax. So, that helps them make taking a lower, a very low salary. But they do leverage their assets to buy other businesses, and they keep leveraging themselves to buy other businesses that generate cash flow. You got to be smart now, and you got to have a good consultant to be helping you with that. Awesome. So now we have that. I have that leisure and the money. Transformation, beautiful. And let me go to my next component. All right. Now, what is it? Now, I want to keep, no, the one thing that I wanted to get, and I kind of messed up over here. So let me go back. That's life. Okay. So in the last video I did, you're going to see one on the asset summary. So I just want to give